Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to Friendship Baptist Church, Friendship Moments. And in the world we live today, I'd just like to share a devotional that I just read. It said this: a young woman was brutally attacked as she returned to her apartment late one night. She screamed and she yelled as she fought for her life, yelling until she was hoarse for about 30 minutes. As she was beaten and abused, as I read the story, I heard that 38 people watched the half-hour episode in fascination from their windows. Not one person so much as walked over to the telephone to call the police. The lady died later that night as 38 people watched on. Another one is similar. It says, riding on a subway, a 17-year-old youth was quietly minding his own business when he was stabbed repeatedly in the stomach by attackers. 11 riders watched the stabbing, but no one came to assist the young man. Even after the thugs had fled and the train had pulled out of the station and he lay there in a pool of his own blood, not one of the 11 came to his side. Less dramatic but still shocking is the ordeal of a lady in New York City. While shopping on Fifth Avenue in busy Manhattan, the lady tripped and broke her leg. Dazed and in pain and in shock, she called out for help. But not for just 2 minutes, but for 20 minutes, but for 40 minutes, and for 50 minutes, as shoppers and business executives, students and merchants walked around her and stepped over her, completely ignoring her cries. After literally hundreds of people had passed, a cab driver finally pulled over and hauled her into his taxi and took her to a hospital. The words of the Apostle James come to mind, and I want to read that to you now. James, the 2nd chapter. If a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you say to them, go in peace and be warmed and be filled, and yet you do not give them what is necessary for the body, what use is that? The Apostle John even goes deeper when he asks in 1 John 3:17, but whoever has the world's goods and sees his brother in need and closes his heart against them, how does the love of God abide in him? True servants today are merciful and we care. They get involved, they get dirty, and if necessary, they offer more than just pious words. And what do they get in return? What does Christ promise? They shall receive mercy. The Bible says that those who remain detached and distant and disinterested in others will receive like treatment. But God promises that those who reach out and demonstrate mercy will, in turn, receive it from other people as well as God Himself. I'd like to encourage you as believers to look at the world today. People need help. They need an encouraging word. They may need $1 for this or that. We all live in abundance here, and we can demonstrate the love of Christ by helping others. But you have to pray for that. You have to pray to God to give you a heart of compassion, to give you eyes that see, and to give you a spirit-controlled mind that allows God to work through you. Yes, I've heard all the excuses. I've heard all the things about people who say, well, we helped them one time. They don't need it. They're drunk. They're a drug addict. Listen, I can't find in the Bible anywhere where Jesus made those comments. In fact, Jesus went to the people that the world shunned. Jesus went to the people that nobody else would help. And the Bible says if we give a glass of cool water in His name, we shall not lose our reward. It's interesting to me, the Bible does not say they have to deserve the water. It doesn't say they have to be thirsty. It does not say that they are to drink it. They can pour it on the ground. They can pitch it back in your face. Doesn't matter what they do with it. What matters is what you do with what God has given you and what God has chosen to tell you to do. So let's demonstrate the love of Christ more than just pious words. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's get our feet on the ground and let's get involved in lives and share the love of Christ. Thank you for listening to Friendship Moments, Friendship Baptist Church in Killen, Alabama.